Hey guys, welcome to another of my talking about banner videos. Usually it's gonna be like, should you pull blah 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 blah. This time it's a bit different, right? So, we just got, no, we just got the Blaze banner announced with chapter 6. And this time I want to talk about not should you pull Blaze banner, but why you should pull Blaze banner video. Obviously I'm still going to go through like all the 3 new operators, but there is actually more reasoning behind like why I recommend people playing that are free to play or whatever. Like if you're not talking about like waifu, wanting waifu or not, you should be pulling Blaze. So let's begin with the operator talk and then we can go into those stuff later on. So first of all, Blaze. I usually do this kind of video where I talk about the operator through 8th ship. I do want to give like some, let's say, video examples, but sadly I don't have Blaze in my account. I can only tell you guys of how I can see her being used, and she is very, very powerful. So, Blaze. Attack multiple enemies equal to block count. I think it is straightforward enough after CC that we all see how strong Spectre is, and Blaze is just Spectre but really, really good in damage. Like, Spectre is scaled for surviving with her skill 2, Blaze is just damage, you know? She's very powerful, and as all multi-target guards, she will have block 3 when she's E2'd, so E2ing and E1ing Blaze is a totally different thing. I would definitely recommend to E2 her, not only for the arc, but also for the 3 blocks. Her talents are actually very nice, not for like damaging, but it gives a room for error, right? So with her first skill, whenever the first time her HP falls below 25%, she gains health and then keeps her surviving at for 6 or 7 seconds depending on your potential. This is very good, not for what you would do on Spectre, which is just surviving and then you can use the skill another time and then just keep surviving. This is like a one shot but good. Like let's say you make a mistake where you deployed Blaze early and she died when she would have died, but instead she would stay alive and then give you the time to cover up all the misses. Her talent 2 comes in very handy in chapter 6, but I don't think we need to go into chapter 6. Just look at the stun, guys, right? The stun duration is decreased by 50%. This can be very powerful. So as an example, when a hammer guy stuns Blaze, usually they will just walk past her, but because of this decreased duration in stun by 50%, they will walk halfway through her and then she would recover from the stun and then she would block them again. Very, very good skill, talent, I should say. So her talents are not about damaging, but why do I say that she's scaled more towards damaging? Like I literally just said, Spectre is for surviving, Blaze is for damaging. It's her skills. So her skill 1, very simplistic, 2 SP cost, so every 3rd hit, next attack deals 290% damage. Don't forget this is AoE, so 3 target damage at E2. Very, very good, right? And then her skill 2 is the main skill that we will be using. Her skill 2 has infinite duration, right? Infinite duration with increased range and plus 100% attack plus 35% defense. This is super, super good. So usually when we talk about guards, we talk about like close range, like Spectre. Sometimes, yes, we can have Silver Ash, but Silver Ash doesn't deal like his max damage with his skill on. Without his, he doesn't deal as much damage without his skill on, and he's only dealing 1 target at a time. With Blaze, with her skill 2, you can literally deal damage across 2 lanes, right? even if there is a wall in between, she can deal damage to 2 lanes, have infinite duration. So as long as you put her on the field for 70 seconds, she will deal tons of damage. And also you can speed up the SP regen by like Telopsis and such, so it can be faster. And then once you get her skill going, she can deal so much damage that she can cover both lanes. Because don't forget, plus 100% damage, not 100%, it's 200% damage, literally. And when she's at max level and max trust, she would have over 800 attack power. So if you double that, it's 1600 each enemy, and that's 3 targets at once. This is a very powerful skill, and as long as you can keep it running, she's like the most stable damage dealer you will have by a long shot. Very powerful. Her skill 3, on the other hand, seems to be really good. So she will gradually gain up to plus 80% attack and defense, but like because the duration of the skill is 10 seconds, it's only like the final bit where she can finally get that plus 80% attack. And then when the skill ends, after the 10-second duration, she deals a huge AoE damage of 400%, and then self lose 25% HP. That isn't like the biggest deal. The problem with this skill is that the timing, right? If you want to use that huge AoE, you have to count perfectly 10 seconds before you need that AoE shot, which can be a huge problem, and if you don't time it correctly, you can easily leak. So is this skill bad? No. So if you're trying out a new stage, like at the first time, right, you would definitely be using skill 2, because you would have no idea when to use skill 3. But if you're having a problem dealing tons of damage and you don't have, like, let's say Silver Ash, and you don't want to borrow a Silver Ash, you can actually use Blaze's skill 3. You just need to learn the stage well. So you have to know exactly, like, okay, I'm at, let's say, 35 enemies through the stage, and then, oh, I need to use this skill right now so that in 10 more seconds later, there will be a huge wave of enemy coming, and then that will perfectly hit them. This requires a bit more calculation, which makes it harder to use, but when you can hit that shot, she can cover tons of attack. Don't forget, 400% attack, and that is after you have increased 80% attack. So 180% attack, and then multiplied by that 4 again. Super strong attack, okay? The only downscale is the timing of the skill. Also, SP cost of 35, so 35-second cooldown is not that huge of a deal if you consider, like, usually a stage is like 2 minutes or 3 minutes at least. So yes, you can use this skill like several times a stage. If you M3 her, of course. Like if it is only skill level 7, the SP cost is closer to 40. So yes, this is Blaze. Definitely recommended. Very strong character. Not like super over the head OP, because her AoE isn't that huge like Silver Ashes, but still very powerful. So, I did say I'm going to talk about the Blaze banner. Why? I thought it's only about Blaze, is it? Nope. The 5-star new sniper, Greythroat, is actually a very good sniper, especially if you don't have Exia. So if you look at her talent, it's increased attack speed, which is very similar to Exia. Her skill 1 is a chargeable skill that can charge up to 3 charges, and it allows her to hit 2 times and dealing extra damage. So this is very similar to Exia. Her skill 2 is also very similar. Increase attack and deal 3 hits. So this is, think of her as like the 5-star variant-ish of Exia, but the skill mechanic is a tiny little different. Everything else is very similar. So she has a ton of damage potential, and if, let's say, all you want is fast attacks, maybe you can even use her rather than blue poison or platinum sometimes, because she can deal tons of damage with her skill 2 in a short burst of time. So it's good for like bosses that has low defense but high HP, and you can just use her skill, easy kill. If you don't have Exia, of course that is. If you have Exia, it is a completely different story. You probably don't probably don't need Great Throat, but if you don't have Exia, Great Throat is a good enough replacement. Enough. Okay, now Embryo is a very interesting character. Like, if any one of you has played Girls Frontline, you would somehow recognize this art. But yes, that's not the point, okay? So Embryo is very, very special. She targets the lowest defense enemy. Not that unique, you might think, right? She's got huge range with her skill 1, so yay, longer shot. It's not the most special thing. Her skill 2, on the other hand, is very, very weird. Very, very niche, okay? She has increased 100% attack, so if you combine that with her E2 max attacks, that's like over 1000 base damage, and then you plus 100, so that's like over 2000 damage. Her attack interval is increased to 3.6 seconds, which is rather long. Increase attack range to the entire battlefield. This is like stupidly far, but you have to know that the further the enemy is, the slower the attack actually is. So the attack interval is completely something completely different to attack animation. So this pre-attack animation is slowed so much that she can be dealing shots at like, what, 6 seconds for each shot. Something along those lines. She's very, very slow at dealing enemies that are far away and dealing 2000 damage each. So you can think of her as literally the sniper that can snipe off like, let's say some of the slugs, some of the exploding spiders, things like that, so they don't get even close to your, like, let's say you have a team of operators, like close range operators, and you don't want the exploding spiders to get near them. Embryo can be usable, but the fact that her attack interval is so long, it makes it so that unless let's say the spiders come in at 1 by 1 and is at a pretty far distance from your team, you probably won't be using her, because by the time she's actually attacking, the enemies probably would have reached all your melee operators anyway, and it's probably too late that way. So the timing, the enemy, all matters. If you get all of those right, Embryo can be very nice to deal with some of the more annoying enemies that you don't really want to deal with your main team. So she can come in handy, but I would say not really for most of the time. Her skill 1 is very, very nice. Look at this stupid range, right? And she actually slows the target for 1.2 seconds, which is also very powerful. And with a 2.7 second attack interval, her skill 1 with her E2, or should you say E1 range, she can be pretty good. But I would say in general, Embryo is more niche. But why do I talk so much about her? Waifu. Yes, that's the main reason. So even though these, I didn't say like these are like the must-have operators, right? Why do I still recommend you pulling, knowing that we are going to have more banners coming soon, because there was a leak of Nian banner coming on the 29th of July. It is not confirmed, but there was a data mine that says something along those lines. Take it with a grain of salt, but yes, even though we're knowing that Nian is coming, and some people would just say, well, why shouldn't I be saving up for Nian? I would say no, because the thing is, for those people that doesn't know, Nian is our first limited operator banner. So you can only obtain Nian within that period of time. But because this is the first time they've ever implemented a limited operator, they haven't really made the whole thing really balanced, right? So when the second time we got a limited operator, which is a bit of a spoiler, but when that came, they actually refined the system so that when you do 300 pulls, you can actually choose which operator you want from the banner, but that's only for limited banners. And for all the pulls that you have spent on the Nian banner, they're guaranteeing that they will do a rerun of the Nian banner And when the rerun came, we will have all the pity that we would have saved up. Like, it's like 300 pulls, so you can choose a character, right? Let's say you did 100 pull the first time Nian was here. The second time, you're starting off with 100 pulls already. And then you just need to do another 200 pulls to guarantee to grab Ark or Nian, right? So personally speaking, I would recommend most players, if you're not gonna like super whale or anything like that, or unless Nian is like your waifu and you just must get her ASAP, I would recommend like probably pull for 1 6-star in that banner and just stop. Because the thing with that, they has double 6-star rate ups, and personal experience, you can get 3 arcs but not get a single Nian, and that's gonna destroy you. Trust me, I've experienced all of that. So personally speaking, personal recommendation, pull on Nian, pull on Blaze, not Nian, pull on Blaze, and then save for a bit more, pull Nian for 1 single 6-star, and then wait for other operators, right? There's no need to go full out on the Nian banner. Instead, try your best to get Blaze, because it is really rare for a single rate up operator, like a single 6-star rate up. This is a special banner, and you should try to get Blaze because she is very powerful. That pretty much sums it up for me today. If you enjoyed the video, click the like. If you find it informational, same thing, like. If you haven't subscribed, which I believe 90% of you aren't subscribed according to my analytics, so if you don't mind, you can subscribe, and I would try to give you guys more info and more of my opinion on what is the best for you, and hopefully can help you in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!